So I'm a geriatric millennial, pushing close to 40, and have two kids at home. Grew up in Minnesota, served a couple churches in Iowa, but have moved around and always been a very spiritually curious person. Pastoral ministry seemed to fit me well as I kind of work in churches and walk with people as we think about our lives before God. And I don't know if there's something about my personality or that I find myself to be a bit more of a spiritual person, or that just is an area of life that just really interests me. I've always just been very curious about who God is, and how we learn about God, or what that means. Like, why am I here, and what is my sort of purpose or being, or what's the best life that I can live? Some of those deep existential questions are maybe the best place, and I think the church gave me a place to think about those things. I think we have a lot to offer as people who have ideas about what makes for flourishing humanity. I think we believe that that's part of our life and our calling, is to make sure that we flourish and that others flourish. And I think we can help pinpoint where it's not happening and maybe where it should be happening. And I think that can bring a lot of value to a community. It's like you're always going to need religion, right? God became incarnated, right? Our faith is going to have to be incarnated in some way, and that's usually religion. So we're going to need something like that. But yeah, when we think of the word church, like the gathering of people, the community of believers, yeah. I don't even know if believers is a good word anymore for that. A gathering of the spiritually curious, a gathering of those who are wondering about how to live better and good, maybe holy lives. But again, I don't know if we'd use that word. So I want people to, think heavily about their own faith and how they've got to where they are, and what kind of expressions they use to live out the faith, and be kind of, maybe even be a little ruthless about saying, are these really even helpful for me anymore? Are there things that I need to jettison? Are there things that I need to pick up, or double down on, or change? And then I think after we can do that, think more heavily about what a healthy, strong, enduring spiritual life looks like for us. I think we can then start to ask those questions again for the church. What would it be to look like for the church to create spaces for us to better develop healthy spiritual lives and pass that on to other people, the next generation, right? When you retreat, I always like to think about like creating space, maybe space to think about what's going on in your heart, in your gut, in your mind, that maybe you weren't even aware of. The only thing is, I encourage people to come in an open mindset, being willingness to be honest, but at the same time, my hope is that we'll be able to be most fully ourselves, or look as honestly as we can about who we are, and maybe where we want to go. To me, that's the sweet spot. That's the place kind of where growth happens.